strong and get healthy. Stretch. Feel great about yourself and have some fun. It's time for you. Fitness is the key to your future. Don't get locked out. Take the challenge. Commit to be fit. Thanks for joining me for another fun episode of Commit to Be Fit. I'm Susie Smith. Today's show is about time travel. Do you remember what it was like when you were 10 years old and summer seemed to last forever and the days went on endlessly with so many possibilities? And it seemed as if you were looking at life through a zoom lens. Do you ever think about revisiting that time? Well, now you can. I've discovered the time machine, and it's the bicycle. I just started bicycling outside after many years of teaching indoor cycling. And I can honestly tell you that when I'm riding down on a dirt path down through the woods, or I'm flying down, freewheeling down the side of a hill that I've just biked up the other side, I'm 10 years old again, and I want to share this with you, this feeling. It's just a wonderful workout, and it really takes you back in time. So today's show is going to focus on bicycle safety and setup. And I have a wonderful guest here today that I've met recently. He's a local bicycle enthusiast and also a technician, bicycle technician. And he's here today to explain to us how we can safely get started back with bicycling. So I'd like to introduce to you Luke Barr. Hi, Luke. How's it
Luke.
going? Hey, how's it going?
Susie, how you doing?
Thanks for coming on to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, like you said, I'm a bicycle enthusiast. I've been riding for about, ever since I can remember, really since I've been 5 years old, just
Really?
riding around the woods. Absolutely, yeah. And actually, I've been working at Dick's as a bicycle technician for the last 2 years. So.
Well, I know that because I bought my bike off of you.
Yeah.
And you've helped me so much because, like I said, I haven't been biking outside for probably 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe even a little bit more. I've been teaching indoor cycling. So when we came, to the store, you really showed me a lot of things that have changed since I've been on a 3-speed bicycle.
3-speed. Yeah, it's really just, and you're a very common case. A lot of people come in, they used to ride bikes maybe when they were kids or even in their college years, and they come back and they just want to find a way to get back into it, get outside, get active again, and bikes are really a great way to do that. So yeah, when you came in, it was exciting, and I'm glad that you guys got a nice set of bikes, and obviously you've turned it into something that you love again, which is great.
Oh yeah, my husband and I, we just decided, he retired, and we thought, what are we going to do now for, for just some exercise, because we do both work out and that, but we thought, bicycling, let's start to do that. And so when we came over and saw you, the first thing I asked you, and I'm going to ask you now, is how do I know what kind of bike to get? Are there more than...
There's more than one type of bike.
So when people come into, and ask you, like, what do you need to know from them to determine what type of bike they need?
Well, really, there's so many factors that go into buying a bike. Most people, like you said, come in, they're looking to get active again. They're maybe not going to be in the mountain range of stuff. They just want to go out, cruise for a couple miles, maybe on the Montour Trail or like a paved path. And we really do have a lot of bikes that are accommodating for them. As far as the categories of bikes go, there's mountain bikes, which is something like this, real aggressive.
Wow. Yeah, look at your tires compared to mine.
Yeah, it's just, if you rode this on the road, you'd just be, the rolling resistance, you'd just be dying out there. But yeah, so something like this is made for like heavy routes, a lot of dirt. You got disc brakes on there. This one's actually a full suspension bike, so if you want to jump it. Yeah, absolutely.
That's different than what I've got then.
Absolutely. So on your type of bike, that'd be a bike for the trail. That's actually called a hybrid bike. A hybrid bike is a mixture of a road bike and a comfort bike. So on a road bike, you see a 700C wheel, which you have on this bike, but instead of being crouched over with the bent handlebars, you actually have an upright feel like a comfort bike, which is good for people who are you know, maybe have back problems or anything like that?
I do have a slight back problem. That's what you mentioned to me at the store. I was asking you because I really don't want to be on the street very much because the traffic, and I wasn't used to my bike yet, so I think I'm a hazard out there. But now that you've got my bike tuned up because we went through a couple phases, you said that when a person first gets a bike, you have to make some adjustments?
You do have to make some adjustments. It's just like a motorcycle, actually. There's a braking period on a motorcycle, just the same, there's a braking period on a bike. So when you get the bike, you know, the technician or the mechanic can do everything he can to make sure everything's properly adjusted in the shop, but then after about 2 weeks of riding or about, you know, 30 miles of riding, the bike's going to need readjusted again to accommodate the break-in period.
I noticed that. I think I brought mine back in after about 30 miles that I put on it, and you did some adjustments here. Like how do we determine like how high the seat should be? And I know you did some adjustments on my handlebars moving forward because my arms are longer.
Yeah, and really, a lot of that stuff that's nice about the hybrid bikes too is that they are adjustable in that fashion, where the rider you really customize the bike to be comfortable, which is good. Like on a mountain bike here, I really can't move the handlebars up. I can just pretty much move the seat. That's about it. But on a hybrid bike like this, like you said, the handlebars can go back and forth, and the seat can go up. And really, and like you said, after a period of time, the rider can determine what's comfortable for them. So on this bike, usually when you adjust the seat, you want to have it about waist height. And what you do, perfect.
Okay.
But the point of that is so you get maximum extension in your leg on each pedal.
So you don't really want your leg to lock out?
You don't want your leg to lock out, absolutely not. You still want a slight bend in the knee with your toes slightly pointed down.
Toes slightly down?
Yes.
Okay. I've had to make a couple adjustments. Like there's things that you can buy for your bike.
Accessories, absolutely.
Yeah, accessories. And what do you recommend? Like, I noticed that my pedals, when I first got my bike, I had smooth pedals, and my foot kept slipping off because I'm not just riding through a neighborhood. I'm usually doing about a 20-mile ride up and down hills and, you know, out through the woods and that sort of thing. So I bought a different type of pedal. So what do you think about that?
That was a good move on your part, really, because some of the hybrid bikes that we do have, I know in our store and in other stores too, they don't have pedals on them that are adequate enough for the style of riding that you're using. You're actually using it for exercise, and you want it, you know, you're using it. And so the pedals that came on it were actually very smooth, and that's kind of hard to really get a good grip on the bike. So as far as pedal types go, that would have been a comfort pedal that they put on there. I don't know why they do that, but that's what they put on there.
Well, maybe they think, you know, people are just kind of cruising through their neighborhood
more leisure than
leisure. Yeah, I'm definitely not a leisure
absolutely.
person. No, I hate leisure. So what do you think about like accessories? Like
accessories, yeah, like you were saying, definitely changing the pedals. That was a good one. Like there's different types. There's basket pedals. You have a more grippy plastic pedal on there. There's platform pedals. I actually have clip-ins on my bike, so I don't know if you can see those shoes down there, but
do they have clips on the back?
They actually do have clips on the back.
See, I was wondering about that. Like, is that for everybody? Like, I'm pretty much of a novice, you know, as far as being out on the road. Would I be able to get my foot quickly out of the pedal? Right now, my shoe is kind of gripping onto that tread, but do you think I should move into the cleats?
The cleats, ever since I got them, some guy talked me into them. I've never ridden without them. It's just a totally different experience, because when you can see this metal piece here actually clips into the pedal right there. And there should be another cleat there. I lost in the woods, but
you're pretty hardcore.
Yeah. But what's nice about this is, since it clips into the pedal, it's like you're one with the bike. And so actually, instead of just having a downstroke on the bike, you can get an upstroke on the bike.
And you want to use that hamstring.
And that really kicks that in,
Because when I teach spinning classes, you know, I don't have a clip, but I use the cage.
Right, the cage is absolutely,
But that's not as good as the clip, I hear.
No, the clip is the best way to go as far as that. The cages aren't bad, though.
But I noticed with the cage, you're pulling more with the toe, it seems, instead of like right up
whole foot.
Instead of the whole foot.
Okay. Yeah, and these, like I said, for the person, you know, as far as getting in and out of them, that is an adjustment. The first time I actually rode with these, I actually just fell over on the bike. I couldn't get my feet out.
Well, when you fell over, Did you hit your head?
I didn't hit my head because I had a helmet on.
Okay.
Always got to have a helmet on.
Oh, you always have to wear a helmet?
Absolutely.
Is that number one?
That's the number one rule. Always wear a helmet.
I see a lot of people out there flying and they don't have helmets on, and it freaks me out because anytime I fall, the first thing I do is crack my head. You know, that's just, I'll get my helmet too then.
Absolutely.
But yeah, these are great. And how, like, is there a way that you should wear these? Like, should you wear them loose? Like,
no, actually, that's a common thing. Most people, like, especially that style helmet, it's very common for, you know, someone cruising on the road or something like that. People wear them up on their head and they wear it with the straps loose. It's incorrect. When properly fitting a helmet, the helmet should sit about an inch above the eyebrows.
Okay.
And should be fit snugly on your head.
Okay, and this should be
and the chin strap should be snug, absolutely.
Because I've noticed, like, some people have like a little cool thing going on, but if you fall, then it's not really going to help you as much.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. What other things would you, like, okay, so I go out to buy a bicycle, and I know, like what I told you, I said I'm active in a lot of other sports, but I haven't been on a bicycle, and I plan on going, you know, probably off-road. So you suggested the hybrid.
The hybrid, mm-hmm.
And that was perfect. That has been just a perfect addition for me because it's just right. I can, you know, I can go down the road or I can go into the woods, and it seems to be. But what else would you tell people that they need when they come in after you determine, like, what bike?
The style bike, really the frame size varies on each bike too. Like you have here, you have a road, you know, your hybrid bike, which has a road wheel on it, which is a 700C wheel. But there are different sizes of that frame within that category of bicycles, so frame fit would be an important thing when looking for a bike.
Okay, and then you adjusted this for me. This was, it was too low. I think my knee was really bent, so you brought it up, and is there like a certain spot where you don't want to take it too far, or?
As far as the seat goes?
The seat coming up?
Yeah, as the seat coming up is like really is when your leg is locked down straight. That's not good. It's bad for your knees, I would assume.
Yeah.
But as far as like having the bike be too large or fitting a frame size, really on a men's bike it's a lot easier than on a woman's bike. On a men's bike, all you have to do is just step over the bike, and it should be about 2 inches below the inseam there. On a women's bike, it's a little bit more difficult because if you notice, it has a dip-down frame in it. And actually where that comes from is a long time ago, women who rode bikes, they used to have to get on with the skirts on.
Oh, I always wear my dress when I go biking.
Who would wear a dress in the first place?
How did they even do that, though? Like, what, did they have to clip them onto themselves?
I have no idea.
Because, can you imagine, like, they get it caught in here and they're out there.
Talk about dangerous,
Yeah, but this, when I'm seated on my seat, I've had people tell me they want their feet to touch the ground. Should they be touching the ground?
Not really.
I didn't think so.
Not really. Really maybe on a comfort bike where they're not really looking to have that full leg extension. They just want to cruise around maybe with the kids, or just for an evening on the, even on the beach, something like that. With the white-walled cruisers, it's real popular. But on a performance bike like this, no, to have the seat that short and your legs, it would hurt your legs after a while.
Well, that's one reason I wanted to have this show, because I see, well, a lot of people going on vacation will get a bike at the beach or whatever, and then they have knee pain when they come back from vacation and their back hurts. So I was hoping that people would see this episode and kind of get an idea. I see people a lot biking, and their legs are bent, and they never straighten out. They're way down. And is that just because they don't know, or is there a certain bike that you do that with?
I think it's more people not knowing and then not being really comfortable with the seat being up so high. Because I don't know if when you first had the seat up high, you have to get used to maybe not being able just to put your foot over the edge of the bike and stop yourself. I think that's a lot of it.
Well, I have a little mantra that I made after that first time of being on my seat and coming to a stop. It's off the seat and on your feet. Because if I just try to stop and the bike starts going over, because my feet are actually a couple inches from the ground. If my seat's set up properly like we have it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like riding a motorcycle too. You got to put your foot down when you're going to stop and you're going to fall over.
Thinking what you said about your bike, if you took this on the road, it was really well, I went 1,000-mile trip on a knobby tire Triumph motorcycle once by myself, and you don't want to take tires like that on the road.
Really?
Yeah, saddle sores big time.
Man.
Yeah. So this is very comfortable. But do we have some new rules out there for bicycles? There's a new law that was passed about cars having to be so far away from the bikes.
I think it's really, I don't know so much about that, but I know that there was something where you do have to have a flashing taillight on the bike if you are going to ride it on the road at night. Oddly enough, you don't have to have a headlight, though.
You don't have to have a headlight?
You don't have to have the headlight. No, you can just have the taillight, and that's fine.
Also, it's okay if they don't see it coming at them.
Exactly. Yeah, it's weird.
I guess because you should be riding with traffic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to ride against it. And I think you're not supposed to ride on the sidewalks as well.
Okay.
Except if, like, South Park, they have that designated trail. Something like that would be appropriate, but obviously not on a sidewalk.
I think what they're doing now is, I'm pretty sure I just read something about cars have to give you 4 feet of space, even if they have to pull over. Like the bicyclists, we own the road too.
Absolutely.
It's not just cars.
Yeah, no, it's and that's road biking. Really, you make a good point, because if cars, a lot of people don't know that, though, so they do go pretty close to the bikes on the road. And
it's scary.
It'd be very dangerous. Absolutely.
Well, I find there's a lot of benefits. Being a fitness enthusiast that I've been for the last 30 years and a weightlifter and all that, this is such a nice addition. And when I get on my bike, I'm a little kid again. I mean, as soon as I get on the bike, it's almost instant. I'm 10 years old, and next month I'll be 10 years old 6 times. And I just love it. It's just, that's the way I'm going to live my life. I'll be 10 years old again. And the bike takes me there, and I really want people to know just how you can, you see things from a different perspective as opposed to going 50 miles an hour. You notice a lot more that's going on out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just rewarding. It is very, very rewarding. Just even the health benefits and just feeling youthful again. It's really, really nice.
And it helps your knees. I have friends that have had knee replacements. And the doctor tells them to bicycle. That's one of the low-impact exercises.
Exactly, yeah. As compared to running on a treadmill or running. This and an elliptical is good for your knees and everything like that. Of course, you're very knowledgeable on that type of thing. But
I don't like the elliptical very much. I'm not much of a treadmill person. I did run a marathon once, but it was to raise money for homeless animals.
Oh, I give you credit.
But I almost died, but I got through it. It was tough. But so what do you think? Like, what's your favorite? Why do you bike?
Why do I bike? I do it just to actually now is it's good. It's a good introduction into off-road motorcycles. Just a lot of pros really they use downhill bikes and they use all mountain bikes just to warm up and get a feel for the trails that they're actually going to ride on a
so you're going to go
faster machine. So yeah,
you're going to go motorcycling?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I just bought an off-road motorcycle.
Oh, cool. What kind did you say it was?
I bought a 2009 KLX 250.
Okay. So maybe, that sounds good. Maybe that'll be my next thing.
Yeah.
You'll have to come back on the show. So we have a few minutes left here, and I was just wondering, like, what, I know we talked about a helmet and any other attire that we might want to get when we...
A lot of people come into Dick's saying that their butt hurts when they ride their bike.
That's a very
very
I know where you're going.
Absolutely, and really the 2 things you could do for that is get a new seat. If the seat on your bike's not wide and padded, you see on Susie's bike that it does have a shock in the seat post, which is a nice feature on that bike.
Yeah, this is the stock one that we bought from you, and I really, I like this. It's comfortable.
And then the other thing you could do is you can also buy padded shorts.
Okay, here we go. I got to show you. I wear my padded shorts underneath baggy shorts. So women that don't like to wear spandex out there, just get some baggy shorts. Get those padded shorts, though. That made all the difference.
Oh, it really does. And actually,
me.
they say it improves your performance too. Just the compression aspect of it actually helps your endurance. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So when you ride, so when you ride with them, it's a world of difference. And even just some of them have a nice gel in them. That's why I have the Canary ones with the gel in them. They're really nice.
Yeah, I've got the gel ones.
Yeah.
It made all the. I was teaching spin class without padded pants for like one time, and then I went to because I said no, that's not. It's just not comfortable. But well, I really appreciate you coming on here today, and you've helped me out tremendously about the gears. You know how to shift the gears. I know we talked about that, and but what I was saying earlier, if you're going to get a bike, I think that you should go to a bike shop where somebody like yourself knows what they're talking about and can answer questions. Because I saw a lot of less expensive bikes, but if you're going to take your life in your hands out there, you really want to get a bike that's decent and
that's what you need to do. Yeah, absolutely.
And talk to somebody like yourself that's knowledgeable.
Appreciate it.
Oh, I had no idea what 21 Speeds was about until we started talking, and so maybe you'll come back on the show. And,
oh, absolutely, I'd love to be back.
Because I know there's a lot more we could talk about.
Absolutely, there's so much with bikes. It's just more than people really think. It's a lot going on.
Well, I could tell when you were testing my bike out in the parking lot. You know, you were out there for quite a while, and I think you were just playing out there in the parking lot for a while. Because when you get on your bike, you kind of shine. I could see that.
It's a perk to the job, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Luke, thanks for coming on. I'm going to wrap up the show, but if you want to wait for me for a couple minutes, we could bike out together.
That sounds good.
I'm headed out that way.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's it for today, and I would just like to mention my fundraiser coming up. I have a very important fundraiser. It's the Pets for U.S. Vets. 84 Fitness Center has a veterans fund that we set up at the Washington Area Humane Society, and it pays for our veterans adoption fees. So any veterans out there that want to adopt a dog or a cat can go to the Washington Area Humane Society, and we have a dog party coming up on October 6th. This is our 3rd annual dog party, and all the proceeds go to the Veterans Fund. So let's give some respect to our veterans, and let's help our homeless animals. Both of my blogs will be listed at the end of the show today. Commit to be Fit Forever.blogspot.com is for this show, and if you have any questions or comments, you might have questions for Luke, just email me and I'll get those to him, and I can address those on the next show. And check out my dog blog at dogparty84.blogspot.com and get a hold of me. And you can bring your dog to the party. It's just a wonderful time, and it's on October 6th. And we'll be talking more about that on Susie Roberti's Let's Talk Tail Waggers coming up. So I want to leave you with one thought today. Time travel is very easy to achieve. Become a kid again this summer and ride a bicycle. Take the challenge. Commit to be fit.
generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out more.
Hey, you ready?
Of course I am.
What are you waiting for? I was waiting for you.
So we're gonna continue the puppy thing real quick.
Okay, places everyone. In a minute! Do I have to do everything myself?
You can't do it all by yourself.
I'd say,
Sure I can.
no, he can't. And neither can I. So why don't you come on down to BPTV and help us make some of the great community programs you see on this station every day.
Yeah.
I mean, we can help you make your TV show ideas a reality.
It's pretty awesome.
So come on down. I mean, I am pretty good, but I'm sure I could use your help.
From Maine to Maui, thousands of high school students across the country are getting in on the action by volunteering in their communities.
Action teams of high school students are joining Volunteers of America and Major League Baseball players to help train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
It's easy to start an action team at your school, so you too can get in on the action.
Are you in? Get in on the action at actionteam.org.
Diversification. It's a pretty big word, especially when it comes to structuring your investment portfolio. Simply put, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Learn more about the importance of diversifying your portfolio and choose to save.